My favorite fantasy football draft strategy in the year 2026 is the Super Bowers draft strategy. Hear me out. Superhero running back draft strategy. That's when we're taking one running back early, building up the rest of our roster, and then we're addressing that RB2 spot in aggregate. Where this differs, as you could probably guess from the name, is we are focusing our efforts on securing Brock Bowers in round 2. So again, guys, round 1, getting our stud running back, whether it's Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor. Maybe you want to reach on James Cook, Saquon Barkley. Probably not Ashton Genty. I don't love the idea of getting 2 Raiders on my team early, but whoever your cup of tea is at running back in round 1, and again, it's probably a little more ideal for an early to mid round 1 pick, but whoever that guy is, get him. We got some studs in there, 20 plus fantasy point upside. These are round 1 running backs for a reason, okay? Round 1, we got our 6 running back. Round 2, come on down, Mr. Brock Bowers. We keep trying to wonder what wide receiver is going to be this year's JSN. Maybe it's the arguable generational talent that's actually a tight end and a passing game with pretty much no other passing competition, led by the play caller that just freaking helped JSN put up those big time numbers in the first place. So I know it's not a 1-for-1. JSN's incredible, but hey, Bowers, everything we've seen from this dude in the first 2 seasons of his career, guys, also pretty freaking incredible. We have one of the best rookie seasons we've ever seen at the position, quite literally going all the way back to Mike Ditka in freaking 1960. And if you just look at last year, while he was playing through a sprained PCL, it was still enough to provide tight end 2 numbers in PPR points per game. Like, isn't that crazy? All the bad stuff that happened with the Raiders last year. Your play caller gets fired before December. Geno Smith leads the NFL in sacks and interceptions. Bowers literally is like over 100 yards in week 1. He injures his PCL. What's he do? He plays through the injury for a couple of weeks. He finally takes some time off. And then when he does come back, he hanks 3 freaking touchdowns on the Jaguars. So if you're convinced, like I am, that Brock Bowers legit has offensive player of the year upside, and you are just making him a target in round 2 of your fantasy drafts, I do think this is a strategy for you guys. So last point on Bowers, I'm not trying to completely, go into just every single player breakdown here, but he is kind of the focal point, so it feels relevant. I get it. This is an offense that's not wonderful. And I haven't been a big fan of drafting Dolphins, Jets, and Cardinals in the early parts of fantasy draft. So why am I making an exception for the Raiders? I do feel like it's a little bit different when you're franchise building, okay? A little bit similar to the Saints last year, just not quite to the same extent. You brought in Kellen Moore. You had Tyler Shuck coming off the bench. Even when you're staring down a potential 1-9 start in a situation like that, you're looking for the future. You're trying to build up the young QB, and it's the freaking first-time head coach. They're obviously trying to, put their best foot forward each and every week as well, even if the first half of the season didn't go all that well. So I do think Kirk Cousins, who did some really good things, helping Kyle Pitts put up some banger numbers down the stretch of last year, can be better than Geno Smith, but maybe not, okay? I don't want to say good. I prefer if Kirk Cousins was a pretty decent quarterback, but the faster we can get number 1 overall pick Fernando Mendoza out there, guys, it's just going to be the better, okay? So Cousins, Mendoza, hey, maybe they aren't even good, all right? Maybe Clint Kubiak can't, sprinkle magic dust on them. It's just a really bad offense still. The one position that we have seen more consistently overcome bad offenses than any others is tight ends, okay? I've run the numbers. If you look at the top 12 fantasy performers from bottom 10 scoring offenses over the past decade, there's only been 4 quarterbacks. There's only been 14 running backs, 12 wide receivers. 24 tight ends, though. And this makes sense when you think about it. Look at last year. Trey McBride, Harold Fannin. Like some of these tight ends who didn't exactly come out of nowhere, but were just able to rack up target after target. What happened? It was a bad offense and trailing game script with a really good tight end who soaked up a bunch of targets because they were trailing and because they didn't have many other places to go with the football at wide receiver. Things that, again, fit Brock Bowers' current situation like a glove. So, again, round 1, we're going with the sick running back. Round 2, we're going with Brock Bowers. Rounds 3 plus, I got a bunch of other cool shit. But real quick, guys, you see that code on your screen, Ian20? I love Team RotoWire. You guys should love Team RotoWire too. If you've been enjoying these videos, you've been enjoying my content and written articles and tweets and all stuff like that, you can support the show by using code Ian20 and getting any RotoWire subscription to do yourself a favor and help yourself out on draft day, okay? I don't know about you. I don't want to lose to my friends, families, work colleagues, rivals. I want to freaking win, all right? We got all of our expert ranks. We got a live assistant draft tool that truly, if you are trying to just completely put your draft in the hands of us so you win, but also you have someone to blame if it doesn't go well. This thing is sick, guys. You can literally draft on Sleeper, Yahoo, ESPN straight from our live assistant draft tool. You get our expert recommendations, advice, strategy, all that stuff straight there. It is so freaking cool. We're not done with that, all right? Like we get our waiver wire help and start this stuff throughout the season as well. But again, so much cool stuff going on at RotoWire. I am so honored to be a part of this team. And again, with code EN20, you can be too. Go ahead and scan that if you desire. Free country though, it is what it is. Back to the subject. Rounds 3 through 6, that's when we're starting to chip away at wide receiver. Okay, this whole strategy, it's not just like me really wanting Brock Bowers in round 2. It's a collection of different parts of a fantasy draft that I do think together really, really go well. And I've done a shit ton of drafts to try to get to this point. Also, plenty of mock drafts that we will be getting to on this very show here in a bit. Rounds 3 through 6, we're starting to chip away at the prolonged wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 tier, okay? Devontae Smith is someone who could be in the early round 3 parts if you're going to be able to get lucky. We also have Ladd McConkey, Malik Neighbors, who is seemingly going to be out there, if not week 1, pretty soon after avoid the pup list. He's a target for me in round 3. Zay Flowers, Emeka Ibuka, Jalen Waddle. We even got the Unk tier of guys who are certainly going to be ranked far higher than they are right now by the time week 1 comes along. Think Terry McLaurin, Mike Evans, and Devontae Adams. So many good targets there in a tier where I don't really want to be going too hard at the running backs, all right? I'm not saying you can't tack on a second one, but other than Bashaw Tutin and DeAndre Swift, I don't want to take Scatterbo and Judkins coming off those devastating injuries and bad offenses. I don't really want to take Travis Etienne. I always almost say Etienne every freaking time. Dave Montgomery, some of these guys where, yeah, we could honestly have some dead zone profiles. We're really hoping the volume's going to be there. Maybe we don't overly believe in the talent. We don't overly believe in this being a top 5 offensive situation. When I look at every single round, 3 through 6 to 7, I would say, every single time, guys, it's the wide receivers that I really want to be loading up on. So your league requirements do matter here. This is a great strategy, I believe, for 3 wide receiver starting spot leagues. But, if it's only 2, maybe you want to go ahead and just make sure you shore up your running back room. But again, particularly for 3 wide receiver starting spots, I want to come away in rounds 3 through 6 with at least 3 high-end wide receivers. What we're going to do to fill out running back 2 spot is take a page out of Billy Bean's book in Moneyball, and we're going to fill it in the aggregate, okay? Round 7 through 10, again, maybe you managed to get DeAndre Swift or Bashaw Tutin already. You have 2 running backs. That's fine. We can get some more wide receivers as well, but we still will want to fill out the running back room and try to come away with 4 at a minimum running backs after the top 10 rounds, okay? But it's a great opportunity to do so. Once we get through round 7 to 10, we're going to see the Steelers running backs, Jalen Warren and Rico Dowdle, 2 guys who I think with old man Rodgers throwing the football, honestly, could go ahead and F around in both, maybe supply low-end RB2 production. Happened with Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell last year. Both guys also one injury to the other from rocketing up the ranks and probably being the workhorse there. Out of all the kind of like muddled, ambiguous RB3, RB4 backfields, the Steelers running backs really are my favorite bets, but it doesn't stop there. Rashad White, Jordan Mason. We are looking for backfields very similar to the Cowboys and Jaguars from last season, okay? Teams who hopefully won't suck on offense. I don't think the Steelers are going to be world beaters, but they could finish 16th in scoring, and I don't think that would exactly surprise anyone. Similar sentiment with the Commanders and Vikings. Offenses, though, where the reason why these running backs are so cheap is because we have some question marks, all right? Again, we're getting a discount on these guys, but they could be ranked far higher by the time week 1 comes around and we actually start getting more clarity with their pecking order. So for me, Rashad White does stand out as preferred pick in Washington. One of only 3 running backs with at least 200 catches since he's entered the league. We are looking at, I believe, a 2024 Austin Eckler plus role in an offense that, again, last time we saw with a fully healthy Jaden Daniels, one of the top scoring units in the league. And then with Jordan Mason, Vikings and Jets running backs, guys, were tied for, I think, the 5th fewest running back carries inside the 5-yard line last season. If we can just get something better than what was the hellaciously horrible J.J. McCarthy experience in the form of Kyler Murray and linking up with KOC and company, I do think Jordan Mason could be a smash pick. Have heard from Vikings insider Matthew Collar that it is expected to be more so the Jordan Mason show after last season. Aaron Jones kind of got the first run out. So I do like those running backs. But hey, Jonathan Brooks, he might be a a round 2 pick by the time August is over. This hype train is not going to stop for anyone, everybody. But as things stand right now, Jonathan Brooks fits in this range of drafts. We also got the elite handcuffs like Blake Corum and Kyle Monangai. Maybe you like Tony Pollard and J.K. Dobbins in this range. My point is we have a ton of options that can capably fill our RB2 spot. They're not going to terrify your opponent, but the wide receivers and tight end might. We'll talk about the quarterback here in a little bit. We already have our no doubt RB1. It's like it takes me back to that old like Peyton Manning quote the coach had, and it was like, Coach, how come our backup never gets a chance out here? And the coach has said, if 18 goes down, we're effed, and we don't practice being effed. You guys know what I'm saying there. So we got McCaffrey, we got JT, or we got Gibbs and Bijan. We're good at RB1. So let's get 4 or 5 or eventually 6, with some of the handcuffs we'll get to later. Let's fill that RB2 spot through the aggregate with guys from muddled backfields with the potential to rise up, not even with an injury, just a little more clarity. And then additionally, some handcuffs that, yes, really will be on the cover of waiver wires the second an injury happens, but you, a scholar, will hopefully already have them on your fantasy football bench. So that's the main strategy through the first 10 rounds, okay? Stud running back in round 1, Brock Bowers in round 2. We're going to get 3 to 4 wide receivers across the next 4 rounds. We're also going to start getting running backs in about round 7 and beyond, especially if we haven't done so already with the Swift or Tootin type. By the time we get to the top 10 rounds, again, we'll have our tight end, we'll have at least 4 running backs, and ideally we'll have 5 wide receivers, again, especially in leagues where we do need to start 3 of them. So all this to say, it's late round quarterback season, baby. I'm making a new rule for myself on streams. I try to stay active at the gym and everything. It was leg day today. I'm going to be freaking limping around my house tomorrow. But every time that I draft a quarterback for a traditional redraft team before round 10, that's an extra 100 push-ups, guys. I did it with Theo, my boy Theo. We were drafting FFPC streets the other day. We love Justin Herbert. I love Justin Herbert. But my God, do I love round 9 Justin Herbert where I can get round 13 Patrick Mahomes? Not really. It is insane what you can get in these late round quarterback streets, guys. It's almost even crazier in the high stakes leagues than it is on the home leagues, but it's still pretty great over there. We're going to run through some mock drafts here very shortly, and I guarantee you we will be seeing Matthew Stafford, Bo Nix, Jared freaking Goff, those high caliber quarterbacks available after the first 120 picks of your fantasy football draft. There's more options though. Maybe you don't like those guys. All right. How about the Boomer Sooner reunion? All right. We get Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield back on the same fantasy team and we see what happens. Maybe you believe in Tyler Shuck. I know I was saying before, I'm a little bit wary of the Saints being this breakout offense, but I can see it happening. And when we're this late in the draft, you can use 2 bullets on a quarterback. Get Tyler Shuck. Get Malik Willis and lean into some of the rushing upside. So many great options late at quarterback. I just see no need to go out of my way early when we can get, again, potential game-changing wide receivers in rounds 3 through 6, and a Brock Bowers in round 2, and then fill out our running back room after. Because at this point in the draft, just looking at quarterback relative to the other positions, I really do believe is a massive edge to be able to save those quarterback spots for later in the draft when those available players are such better options than pretty much anyone else at the position. So again, promise you guys some mock drafts. Quick round rules that I'm going to be following as we get there. Round 1, sick running back. Round 2, Brock Bowers. Rounds 3 through 6, we're going to be coming away with at least 3 wide receivers. Rounds 7 through 10, we're going to be filling out that RB2 spot and making sure we get at least 3 more bolts at RB2. Rounds 11 plus, likely get 2 quarterbacks, fill out the rest of our roster. Ideally with handcuff RBs. Again, the fact that we are admitting our RB2 spot is going to be the weak-ish link of our lineup. I think we should be getting the Tank Bigsby's, the Mike Washingtons, the Ray Davises of the world. We just don't usually see late round wide receivers break out that much. This year's Puka Nacua might as well be this decade's Puka Nacua. You know what I'm saying? So not saying you can't take a Stephon Diggs or a Rashid Shaheed or a Jalen Coker or whatever. Okay. Like it's fantasy football. It's supposed to be fun, but just structurally, I do think it makes sense to try to get more of those bench spots filled with running backs who, again, are one injury away from being instant starters as opposed to a wide receiver who needs a lot of things to break right. And even if they do get it, like how confident are you actually going to be trying to draft those guys? So with all that said, guys, let's put not even our money where our mouth is at this point. You guys know me. I'll be in the streets drafting, but we actually do have this very much free mock draft tool over at rotowire.com. I invite you guys to check that out for yourself. I already got to set up a little bit. Again, our Super Bowers mock. We're going with the snake draft 12 teams. We'll do a couple different starting spots. I will say, I think this strategy is a little bit better from an early or mid-range spot. Once you do get to the end of round one, I understand being a little bit concerned taking up Brock Bowers over someone like Derrick Henry, over a round two Saquon Barkley, over an Ashton Genty type of player. So just again, based on where Bowers goes, I'm a little bit more comfortable taking him, around that pick 17, 18. Ideally, we can even get him closer to that turn. And we have seen that actually be the case with some of the early ADPs, but just food for thought. And as always, guys, for this purpose, I am highlighting my favorite draft strategy, but take the value as it comes to you in your draft. Take a page out of Bruce Lee's book. Be like water. I do think it's a losing proposition to go into a fantasy draft and say, I'm doing this no matter what. You guys have been there. It gets rocky. Don't be afraid to adjust on the fly. But all that in mind, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs. I mentioned before, 3 wide receivers. We'll go ahead and just go team 2 for the fun of it. So let's go ahead, get after this. You can choose my draft plan for me. But again, very cool stuff here. Got some personalized rankings going on as well. You can find all my rankings again at rotowire.com. Code Ian20. Let's draft. Let's freaking draft, ladies and mostly gentlemen. So again, looking here, Jamar Chase and just all this suggestions. And guys, again, mention that live assistant draft tool. Like this is going to be the type of information you're going to have at your fingertips if you do want to go ahead and draft with us. But for the purposes of this, let's start things off. Get our guy, Jahmyr Gibbs, Mr. 102. RB1 spot is filled. I thought it would have been Bijan Robinson there. Very much happy to get Jahmyr Gibbs at a slight discount. Next up, we are going with Brock Bowers. It is a super Bowers draft strategy after all. Sounds good. Going to take a look at running back. Jeremiah Love, Breece Hall, Javonte Williams. Again, I don't hate it, but man, Nico Collins, Rashee Rice. It's ESPN ADP, guys. Laugh at it if you want to. We're all going to be drafting in there. If you get this value, you better freaking take it. I know I am right now. Nico Collins, round 3, absolute steal. Love to see that. Getting into now the end of round 4, Quinshon Judkins, DeAndre Swift, Dave Montgomery, Bashal Tootin. See if there's any wide receivers I love. There are still some good ones. I mentioned before, I do like the idea of getting Swift or Tootin, but you know what? 72, 77. ADP is a little bit down there. So I'm going to go ahead and take the wide receiver I really want at this point in time, and that is going to be Mr. Jalen Waddle. It is tough, though. Could Zay Flowers come back around to me? Again, it's the game we play. I'll try to even get a little cocky. Let's go with Zay Flowers. That's what I'm freaking talking about. Jalen Waddle, come on down as well. We have now, as we go ahead and look at our fancy dancy draft board, again, picking out of the 102, gotten 3 awesome wide receivers, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, and Jalen Waddle. 3 guys that I have all inside my top 15, and we didn't even have to use a top 2-round pick to get it. So again, J-Mo is there. Terry McLaurin went there. Mecca Ibuka, Garrett Wilson, Lab McConkey, T. Higgins round 4. Luther Burden at the end of round 5. Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. Like, I understand we're not going to have freaking 90 top 24 wide receivers this year. It's easy to be infatuated with all these dudes as it stands here, in early August, but I want these wide receivers. I see a lot that can go wrong for Travion Henderson. Quinshon Judkins' leg hasn't been in one piece for the last 12 months. Bucky Irving, someone who I think is going to be between the 20s running back. Mention my, hesitancy with the Saints. Although as Travis Etienne continues to creep down, don't hit the player, hit the ADP. Round 5 Etienne would be cool. Bashal Tootin at the end of round here. Cam Scotty, like these wide receivers for me, these are the guys I want a bunch of ammo on. But if you go ahead and you're, taking different positions early, it might not give you that chance to do it. But let's keep on going here. Round 7, going to check my running backs. I'm going to come away with one next, but I do think I can probably get lucky and get one of those wide receivers first. And the one I'm really moving up the ranks, guys, maybe even it's a reach here, but I don't care. Parker Washington, baby. Just more and more, I'm thinking he is going to be this generation's Miles Austin. Training camp stuff is out of control. I get it, but he was balling out down the stretch last year. 19.1 PPR points per game in the Jaguars' final 5 games. I've recently moved Parker Washington up to my wide receiver 27. Great value here. But okay, I love the wide receivers. That's what happened, all right? So I am now in round 7. I took 4 straight wide receivers. I got Brock Bowers and Jahmyr Gibbs. Over these next 4 picks, I'm going to take 3 running backs, all right? I like to leave a little bit of room because, again, I'm trying to tell you guys, be like water. I can't say draft a running back every single round 5. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe Nico Collins falls to round 5. Can you imagine if that goes down? At this point, I am going to take a running back. I got my wide receiver with Parker. And with Jalen Warren gone, I do like my chances for Rico Dowdle. Tony Pollard, though, pretty surprised to see him there, see Jalen going. Maybe, just maybe, I get Rico to fall back to me. Give me Tony Pollard. Screw it. Tick, 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 moving on. Come on, Rico. No! Getting sniped in the mock draft. Still hurts. Still hurts, everybody. Wide receivers available. This is where it starts to fall off a little bit. That's the other thing. I like to have them early because I don't love the thought of having Matthew Golden, Michael Pittman, or Wan'Dale Robinson in my starting lineup. 2 wide receiver starters. All right, you can live with this a little more. 3, I don't want to be trusting these guys that much. There'll be some hits. I like Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, as long as Colts aren't signing Keenan Allen anytime soon. I get it. Jacoby's solid. Jordan Addison, damn good football player. Chris Godwin's probably too cheap. So it's not one of these things where, again, you can't do this no matter what. It is something, though, where really, really, really feel good about Nico, Zay, Waddle, and Parker holding down that fort. Let's stick with the RBs. Mentioned some of these guys before, but Rachaad White, someone I am awfully interested in. We'll also lock in a Blake Corum to really shore up that RB room. So Blake Corum, I think he's more than just a handcuff, but again, for this build particularly, wanting to get him one injury to Kyren Williams away from, again, just being in a fantastic spot, must start top 5 running back on a weekly basis. So here we are now getting into the end of round 10. Got my 4 running backs. We got Pollard, Rachaad White, Blake Corum, and Jahmyr Gibbs. Brock Bowers, obviously, again, Super Bowers, our round 2 pick. And then we got our 4 wide receivers, Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, Jalen Waddle, and Parker Washington. Feeling very good about the, again, other running backs we got. Pollard should fill in just fine if we need him to start the season. Rachaad White, again, I do think could be a quality sleeper. Blake Corum, someone who, if we need to start, I'm not going to feel horrible about it, but again, has that incredible best case upside. Going back up here. One last thing. Look at the teams here. This guy has not taken a quarterback yet. So you know what? I should be expecting him to potentially take one if there is a quarterback that I would prefer over the other ones. So looking at QB, Stafford, Nix, Purdy, Goff, Baker. Stacking's not bad, guys. Not a bad thing at all. I do look at Brock Purdy. Someone who's been so freaking efficient throughout his career. So freaking good every single time. Check my running backs. No one exactly blowing me away. Wide receivers. Again, you can talk yourself into these guys. I don't see anyone standing out. And do you guys? That's what I'm talking about. Khalil Shakur, Debo, Shaheed, Higgins, Coker, Diggs. Would you feel good having to actually look at wide receiver in round 10 going, I need a wide receiver right now. Let me see who's available. I don't. Running back, same thing. We got some flex with benefits potential. Woody Marks, Alvin Kamara. We got some pure handcuffs here as well. Not saying some of these guys won't work out. You can clip it, make me look stupid in 12 months. But as things stand right now, guys, I don't like these wide receivers. I don't like these running backs. There's a tight end. We already got one. It's not the worst thing in the world. Go late round tight end, but I don't want a late round tight end. I want Brock freaking Bowers. Quarterly. Take some Brock Purdy. He double tap quarterback. No, I'm sorry, I did not. Matthew Stafford, Brandon Aubrey, taking kickers now. I can't believe it. I'm not going to worry about another quarterback at this point. I would consider Brock Purdy to kind of be in that range where you don't have to make that issue. We'll get someone else later, though. I will go ahead at this point. Let's get one more wide receiver. I do like Rashid Shaheed. And now we're going to take a bunch of handcuff running backs, get another quarterback, and we'll go from there. Start seeing the defenses fly off. Again, this just Super Bowers Brock strategy for the win. I'll fly through the rest of these. I don't think we need to go as much pick by pick. Goff's still there. Goff is still there. All right. Now he's not. Now he's on our freaking team. All right. Give me Tank Bigsby. Pound a bunch of running backs. I'll show you guys the late round quarterbacks that, again, are just going here. It's the ADP. It's what people are doing in these drafts. If you think it's dumb, let's take advantage of it, you know? I have Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't even really like Pacheco that much, but now I got his handcuff. Now our RB1 spot's really secure, you know? We're not playing, at least in this case, we're not playing against 100,000 people. We're playing against 11. I'm very fine handcuffing my own running back. Now that RB1 spot is even more sure than it was before. Take Jaden Blue. Having a nice camp. Doing some good things. DSTs, Vikings, all these guys are available. Doesn't really matter. Look at these quarterbacks. What did we say before? No drafting a quarterback before round 10, and this is why. Trevor Lawrence was round 9. Then we have Mahomes, Purdy, Stafford in round 10. Bo Nix went mid-round 11. Again, I took Brock Purdy. I felt fine about that in round 10. I mean, Goff in round 13 is probably better value. I'm not kicking myself, though. You know why I'm not kicking myself? Because I showed you the wide receivers. I showed you the running backs that were there in round 10. Oh, no, I didn't get Tyler Algier. You know what I'm saying? Where I do feel bad is if I'm like, oh, man, Justin Herbert, he's someone I love this year. I need him. And I'm like, oh, man, look at some of these guys. I could have had Jonathan Brooks, Rico Dowdle. We got Jordan Tyson, Chris Godwin going in that range, DK Metcalf. Like, those are dudes who could really freaking help you. And the wide receivers later are not. Jared Goff's going next to Tajay Spears, Brian Robinson. Just dudes who you're never going to feel good about putting in that starting lineup. Absolute madness. And it's not even done there. I'm trying to be reasonable here because you will get the points in different rooms where guys are double tapping or, God forbid, triple tapping quarterback. You try to play the waiting game and it gets hairy in a hurry. All right. Got Jordan Love going all the way over here. There are Baker Mayfield, Tyler Shuck, and Kyler Murray are just second to last round dart throws. Malik Willis isn't even going to get drafted. And they won't all work out. But we're talking about Braylon Allen. Braylon freaking Allen going the same round as Tyler Shuck and Kyler Murray. That's why I freaking love the Super Bowers mock draft strategy. Let's do one more so from the middle. All right. Now fly through a little bit faster. Got some of my other player takes out there. Again, though, guys, I already got on 102. No worries. Go ahead. Refresh that. We'll start a new one. Show you guys how easy it is. Boom, boom. Team. Let's go 6. Sounds good. We'll do Yahoo this time. Half PPR. 3 wide receivers. Let's get it. Choose for me. Already got my ranks updated. We are good to go there. Let's draft, baby. Look at that hot logo. Let's freaking go. All right. James Cook going early. That's a little bit wild, but you know what? Wild shit happens in these rooms. Christian McCaffrey. Ain't no such thing as curses. Let's get it. Round 2. What are we doing? We're drafting Brock Bowers. Seeing all the guys go along. Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs, Breece Hall. How about we'll try something a little different here? Because I know some of you guys, you're going to see the only one RB. Like the idea of starting Tony Pollard or Rachaad White, maybe it's just not for you. All right, so let's take another RB now. Let's take Javonte Williams. Cowboys bell cow could certainly finish, inside the top 12 like he did last year. I don't think it would surprise anyone. We have not taken a wide receiver through the first 3 rounds of the draft. I think that's okay. Again, missed out on Neighbors. Rashee Rice fell a little bit here. Higgins, Olave. We're still going to get some dogs, though. We already took Javonte Williams. I am now going to take at least 3, maybe 4 straight wide receivers. There's Zay Flowers again. Looking at the ADP, a little bit tighter. I prefer Waddle. Let's get Waddle. Up next, Devontae Adams, Jameson Williams, Christian Watson, all these guys. Pretty big gap in ADP. Not the worst tiebreaker to use. Let's get Devontae Adams. Back on the clock again. I think my guy Parker is going to hold out just a little bit more. We'll see who's looking like they're going. Why not the Packers? Wide receiver 1. Christian Watson. Who are the running backs? Yikes. We're probably going to need to get some of those yikes in a minute, so you guys know what I'm saying. But yeah, give me Christian Watson right now. We need a wide receiver. I want Christian Watson over those guys. That's a good problem to have. We've now gone 3 straight wide receivers. Waddle, Adams, Watson. Running back slowing up. People are trying to play catch up. Not us. We got them right where we freaking want them. Ignoring the quarterbacks, ignoring the tight ends, because we don't need a tight end. We have Brock freaking Bowers on our team. Let's get one more wide receiver, and his name is Parker freaking Washington. So what we say, We do want 4 running backs by the time we get into round 10. Right now, we do only have 2 through 7 rounds of the draft, but the wide receiver room is looking great, as is our tight end. We're now going to get at least 2 more running backs in the next 3 picks and maybe a wide receiver. Some decent guys here. I'm going to pass for now. Let's get Rico Dowdle. Again, I think it's going to be 1A, 1B in Pittsburgh. Love me some Rico at that price. I think I did see. I already got Christian Watson. Look at these running backs again. White, Mason. Let's get Jordan Mason this time. Half PPR, a little bit of an allure for him as well. And look, there we go. Now we're all of a sudden sitting here. Javonte, CMC, Rico, Mason, 4 baller wide receivers, Brock Bowers. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing quarterback until we just don't see a running back or wide receiver we want. I'm good on those running backs. I do like Josh Downs. Isaac Tesla up there. You will see some wonky stuff in ADP. It'll even out as more people draft there. I get it, guys. But again, feel free to keep on using the mock draft tool as things even out. Tesla, Travis, Debo. These guys are gross. I do not want a wide receiver. I do not need a wide receiver. Running backs, B-Rob, Connor, Pacheco, Kamara. Not looking great. Probably give him a second. Let's go ahead and just take a quarterback and look at that. Kyler Murray, Jared Goff, Malik Willis, Sam Darnold, Love. You know, we pushed it a little bit more than usual, but we still freaking got Jared Goff. And guess what? I got Jared Goff. I'll double tap it. Give me Kyler Murray for some extra upside. No freaking problem. I don't want these other freaking losers on my team anyway. You know what I'm saying? Go back to running back. Sure. Give me Tank Bigsby again. He's just such a good handcuff. I mean, if Saquon stays healthy, he's not going to, do much. But that's the case for a lot of guys in this range. Stribling went there. We got CMC before. If I could find Kalen Black, there he is. Let's go ahead and just take him. We can probably get him next round. Let's go Mike Washington and Kalen Black to protect against CMC. Jordan James could be back. We'll see what happens there. Take a kicker, defense, whatever. Probably would have taken a kicker and D. You don't need to, though. That's the thing. Honestly, if you are drafting in early August, I'd rather have no kicker, no defense. It'll give you a horrible mock draft grade if you do that because, still trying to figure out exactly how to get through these computers. But think about it. If you're just stashing a last round kicker, last round defense, okay, fine. You don't have to make a waiver wire move before week 1. God forbid, I'm knocking on wood, something happens to Genty, Saquon, CMC. Where do you think these 3 running backs are going in late August drafts? They're going up here, all right? So that's kind of the allure for not taking a kicker, not taking a defense late. Just keep loading up on these handcuff running backs types because they're still out there. Obviously, some better than others, but Ray Davis, injury of James Cook, he's going to be looking good. Marshawn Lloyd, RB2 for Josh Jacobs, who is kind of in some legal stuff right now. Jaden Blue, RB2 for Javonte Williams. Kamani Vidal might honestly be the more preferred handcuff over Keaton Mitchell. I could see them actually not changing Keaton's role. God forbid something happens to a Marion Hampton. He'd be looking really well. Again, really good handcuffs pretty much all stages of the draft. So this was one, though, where we did go ahead. We got McCaffrey. This is like the super duper Bowers, all right? We got McCaffrey, we got Javonte in round 3, and we got Brock Bowers. Our RB1 and RB2 spots are absolutely great. What we do at wide receiver? Waddle, Adams, Watson, Washington. Came back, got Josh Downs. Maybe could have added another guy later. We were so strong at running back. Probably a little bit overkill, particularly with one flex to go with Dowdle and Mason. But I feel okay. We got the 3 wide receiver spots. Nice. Waddle, Adams, Watson. And if I'm wrong on Parker Washington being someone that could actually really, in a major way, break out this year, fine. He's my wide receiver 4 flex guy anyway. Jared Goff and Kyler Murray at QB. Baker went later. Even like Darnold and Jordan Love, man. QB is a little bit like tight end. You get to a point, you look at the end of the season, it's like, oh, there's only 1.1 fantasy points difference between the QB 10 and the QB 17. When you are playing the late game, I'm okay staying out extra late at quarterback and tight end. You know what I'm saying? What I'm not wanting to do is stay late at tight end because I got Brock freaking Bowers here. So again, guys, Super Bowers draft strategy might not be for everyone. Maybe you don't believe in Brock Bowers. That's fine. I'll have more content to try to help you out there. But if you do believe in Brock Bowers, Honestly, the way some of these home leagues are shaking out right now and the depth at wide receiver, I almost prefer getting the 2 and 3 for the right third back. You know what I'm saying? Javonte Williams feels like the right round 3 back. I don't like investing in a Jet or a Cardinal in round 3. Kyron's got quorum coming up. If we got clarity on the Jacobs legal situation, I'd be very much fine taking him in round 3. But we don't right now. Javonte Williams in round 3, I am absolutely fine signing up for. If not, all right, we take a wide receiver. We don't have to go on all these stretches, you know. We could have taken, what is it going? Yeah, could have taken Malik Neighbors there and then scoop back around 2 rounds later, get a DeAndre Swift, get a David Montgomery if you really feel like it, get a Bashal Tootin. Lots of great options, but it's just these wide receivers. So we get our stud round 2 running back. We get some bell cows early. We get to attack the wide receiver 3 range, and we get to get our late round quarterbacks. I just feel like you're getting basically the best bang for the buck at each position at the relative spots in the drafts that you should be feeling best about. So unfortunately, I must inform you guys, I haven't run before. I cannot guarantee you're going to make millions and billions and zillions of dollars on this draft strategy. But hey, I will be putting my money behind this draft strategy as many chances as I get as things go on and as we continue to learn more about the process, obviously, as well. But anyway, guys, again, I invite you to check out our mock draft tool over at rotowire.com and all of our other cool stuff. Again, code Ian20, 20% off any subscription of your choosing. They range from, again, being more of just a $20 situation where you're just trying to get in for August, get your ranks, get out. That's totally fine. We got you. But again, if you want a little bit more help in your live draft assistant, in your waiver wire, in your start sit decisions throughout the year, really do believe RotoWire can be your one-stop shop for getting you that championship glory. But guys, that's going to do it for me here. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please like the video. Hitting that subscribe button always helps me out as well. So I'm Ian. And until next time, take care, everybody.